Which camera are we looking at?
We're
right
looking.
here.
Okay,
Hey, everyone. We're like, now what camera are we
We're
looking
looking
at?
at.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this so along.
Right.
We'll come up with a better
We're
name
gonna
eventually.
come up with a better name for sure. I'm Kim Christopherson, and I've got two of my dear friends here with me from the Kimberbell team. Got Ginger and Deanna. Maybe some of you recognize you guys from a few guest appearances
Right,
on things.
maybe.
Yeah. So today we are going to be talking about Let Me Call You Tweetheart. Isn't
So in love
that
with
so
this.
fun?
I
How many of
love
you
it.
guys have already downloaded this at kimberbell.com? You can find it under products and then digital downloads, and there you have it. Let Me Call You Tweetheart. I'm in love with you. Doesn't that make you guys want to start singing?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
spare you though.
Well, yeah, yeah. So we thought, let's mix up this, sew along type stuff a little bit and have a little different take on it. But before we do that, I want these guys, I want all of you to get to know these two awesome ladies. And so I thought, you know what? Let's chat for a minute and
Okay.
tell everyone out there, your hundreds of friends now, new friends,
I love
a
it.
little
I love
bit
new
about
friends.
yourself.
Okay. My name is Ginger, and I work in.
She's a little spicy.
I am a little spicy, a little salty.
Yeah, and sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sweet.
Yeah.
Just the right amount.
I hope so.
Now
If my mom is watching, I'm a lot of sweet. Anyway, I am so excited to be here. Like, I have been with Kimberbell for a few years now in customer care and in the sales department, and I just love working at Kimberbell.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, it's really fun.
Nothing juicy you want to share with the world here?
Well, my grandbaby calls me Gina.
Oh, that's
So,
cute.
yeah,
That
well,
is
that's kind of a
cute.
fun,
And
different grandma
she is a
name.
new grandma, so that's
Mhm.
pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait. That's
Well,
awesome.
I know. A little jealous.
Yeah. Deanna, tell them about you.
Okay, my name is Deanna, and I have been working on the finance team until just recently. I just am joining the sales team, and I am so excited. It will be so fun to get away from some of those numbers
Yeah.
and enjoy some more of the creative side. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Oh, when you guys get to know these two ladies, you're going to just fall in love with them. They're so much fun.
They are
Such a hoot and a holler.
That's a great way to describe us.
Hoot and a
And it
holler.
depends on what day it is, which one's a hoot and which one's a holler.
Right, it's so true.
Right. So we're going to have some fun today. We hope you'll just enjoy the show, whether you're sewing along with us or not. Basically, what we want to do is share with you our tips and tricks and thoughts and ideas on not only some of the things that come from this pillow, but other projects we made with this pillow too. And the other cool thing about this is, like Deanna said, she's kind of a newbie,
Okay,
right?
I am a newbie.
Okay, she is.
This
Let's
is
be
the
real.
second, let's be honest here. This is the second project I have ever stitched in my life.
Yeah. So this is good for all of you out there that are in Deanna's boat.
Yeah, we can row together. I mean, if I can do
you're not
it.
going to sink.
No, we're going to row.
You're going to row together for sure. And we're going to help you with all the life jackets and
Exactly.
everything you need, right? And then, we've got Ginger here, who you've been embroidering for how many years?
Well, I have done a little tiny bit since I started at Kimberbell, which
Yeah.
was just about 5 years ago, but I've really done a lot more this last year.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm really learning a lot. In this
She
last
works
year.
a lot with our events program and stuff, so does a lot of filming with
Mhm.
that too. And so you would say be like average embroiderer,
Probably average,
a
yeah.
few years behind you. And for me, I'm just the doctor on TV, right? I play one on TV.
TV.
No, I do love to embroider. Obviously, I've been doing it for many years. So you're going to get kind of a good take on all this. It kind of reminds you of
just-
something, right?
Yes, and just knowing that all levels,
Yeah,
all
for
levels
sure.
can do this project.
Think about the 80s, guys, when, like, you're with me, right? When people would do the exercise shows and you had like the main person who could do it very well. And then you had a little bit slower person over here and a little bit in between.
Mhm.
That's us, right?
Right.
Totally
Exactly. Exactly.
But we're going to get you up to speed real quick. And what I'm excited about, Deanna, is that you're going to show them a really cool technique that obviously was new to you.
It was very new. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
But
But
the instructions made it so simple,
So
so
simple.
concise.
yeah.
Even myself, where I had never done this type of
Yeah.
stitch out before.
Yeah.
It just was so simple and easy.
And so you're going to be able to show everyone else what you did.
Yes.
So we're going to chat here at the table. We're going to go over to the embroidery machine at different times and show you some tips along the way. And then we want to just give shout outs to you guys too and get your take on, some fun questions and just have a good old time, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just a bunch of girlfriends getting together for
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah. And if you guys have any ideas on what we should name this show, put it in
Shout
the
'em out.
comments. 'Cause
Yeah, we
we
would
are
love
all here still, right? It can't be the no so long.
No.
That's not going to cut it,
We can
right?
do better than
We
that.
can do better than that. All right, guys. Okay, so what do we have? Where do we want to start? First of all, we should probably show everyone our binders that
my
we're
gosh.
using.
These the best.
How many of you guys have gotten the experience, the joy of creativity binders? Oh my gosh, look at, there's the back, there's the front.
Yes.
There's
Oh my
the
gosh.
beautiful side.
This is perfect for things like this today because this is a download that you can find again at kimberbell.com. We just printed our instructions and we are ready to go. I was telling these guys, sticky notes and a highlighter are my best friends when I do these sew-alongs because I put my little notes in there. And so I know you guys kind of did the same.
Yep.
Let's go ahead though and get started with our new.
ready?
Are you
Okay.
ready? Okay, Deanna,
There we
go on
go.
over. And while Deanna's getting set up for what she's about to show you, what should we chat about? I know. Let's have a question thrown out at us. We've got Megan and Jessica, and of course Andrew in the background here. What kind of pressing question do you have for us that we could get everybody else's input on as well while Deanna gets set up? Who wants to start?
Okay,
Okay, Jessica.
we have a question for you
Okay,
guys.
these are really intense questions.
They are.
Are we ready?
What would you rather? Would you rather have pre-cut stabilizer for the rest of your life for your projects or a cabinet full of perfectly wound bobbin threads?
Oh, this is easy for me.
Oh, I think it's easy for me too. Is it Kimberbell stabilizer?
Well,
Can I
yeah,
ask that
I mean,
question?
Yeah.
It's got to be Kimberbell
Yeah,
stabilizer,
so
of course, right?
Stabilizer.
Stabilizer.
No
But
doubt.
the other question, it was compared to pre-wound bobbins. Is that right? Or never-ending bobbins? Oh, that's kind of nice too.
That is
But I've got to stick with the stabilizer. What
Yeah.
about you?
stabilizer.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
You use them for everything. A bobbin, I can, give up 30 seconds of my life to rewind a bobbin, maybe. But if I could choose never-ending stabilizer that's been pre-cut all day long, for
Yeah.
sure. What about you guys? What would you do? Type it in the comments. Everyone's saying stabilizer. Stabilizer for sure. Kimberbell stabilizer for life, Leanne says. Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
let's see. Pre-cuts. Yeah, there we go. There's lots of people saying the whole stabilizer bit. I think that for sure, no brainer. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
let's head on over to Deanna. What do you have for us? What are you going to
Okay.
talk about?
So we
You wanna
are
show
going
this?
to, yes. Okay,
Okay.
so we are working on this flower here with the frou-frou center.
I like that.
So that is what we're going to stitch out today. And I'll set this over here for a minute.
Okay.
Don't drop it.
Okay.
What I love most about this
Over here,
is
so
in the instructions, I'm going to show you here. These steps right here to do this center are highlighted. And I love that because as a beginner, just learning how to do this, seeing that that's highlighted just drew my attention to it, that this is going to be a little bit different. Really make sure you're reading the instructions. Don't just skim. So we have this flower stitched out, and the first step is we've got to change the bobbin thread to the water soluble because that is going to make this project so much easier. So we'll just pull this out of the hoop, get my water soluble thread in there because later on we're going to be so glad we did this stuff.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to keep the water soluble in the whole time.
No, because then your flower would fall apart.
Yeah.
So we're going to be basically changing back and forth for each of these steps. So that might change your answer. If any of you were the bobbin, this might change your answer for that. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and get started with the stitch. So right now, the water soluble is in, and that will be a little bit important for making this flower have that full fluffy look.
Stabilizer for life.
Stabilizer for life is what she's saying. That's so fun. Yeah, Jacqueline says, please review the background quilting for the Let Me Call You Tweetheart pillow. We definitely will be talking about that for sure. Okay. All right, so it's going a little bit slower over there, and that's
Yeah.
because it's taking really long stitches.
I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it is. It's taking those big long stitches around the inner of that center and stitching out over the petals a little bit.
I love that.
Kim, we have a question from YouTube. Vampbook LVR asked, what would be the best beginning first project to make on my embroidery machine?
Ooh, that's a good question
That's a
out
great
there. Yeah. So, Deanna, do you remember what your first project was?
Yes, it was the bottom one.
The autumn one?
Pumpkin spice maybe? What was
Pumpkin
it?
spice and everything nice. Did you
Maybe
do that
was it
event?
an event?
It was an event. Mine was an
Okay.
event.
That brings up a good point because, I mean, and Ginger, who oversees events, will be the first to tell you. That's a great way to learn, right?
To an event. Your shop owners are awesome.
Yeah.
So if you head into a shop, they can teach you all kinds of tips and tricks when taking those events that even I'm learning from them all the time.
Yeah,
so it's
for
just
sure.
amazing.
Yeah. So we have a place on our website where you can find people that are hosting events, shops that are hosting events, and you can do it online too.
Yep.
Plus, it's always so fun to get together with girlfriends and do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
The other
Or guy
thing
friends.
that I would recommend is mug rugs. You know, what do you guys think? It looks like, yeah, Suzanne's saying, I think a first project would be any of the mug rugs. Absolutely. Kathy's agreeing with that. Mug rugs are great beginner projects. Yep. Oh my goodness, Jacqueline, she says, my first project was Cup of Cheer.
Oh,
Your
wow.
first
Oh.
project,
Oh my
Jacqueline?
goodness, I'm terrified of cutting the chair. I have all
You
the
can
stuff to
do
do
it,
it, but
Ginger.
I'm terrified of
You
it.
can do it. Yeah, that's wow. Amazing. Kudos to you. And let's see, Terry says the events are great places to learn and have a teacher to ask questions to. Yeah, for sure. So if you don't start with an event, even one of our Kimberbell mug rug CDs would be awesome. And I think we even have a couple of free ones on our website. So check that out. You can download a free one, try it out and see what you think for sure.
Excellent.
All right, going back
Okay,
to Deanna.
we have stitched our flower out.
Go ahead and show them.
Okay.
Go ahead and remove the hoop and show them
Yes.
what part of that flower stitched out.
So we just have this outer center part that's stitching from the center out to all the petals. And this is the step where we did use the water soluble. So now in the instructions, it says to change it back to our regular thread. So I'm just gonna pull this bobbin out really quick. So that over here, this is the tricky part, keeping your bobbins. So you know which one's which, right?
You know what I do at home is I have labeled one WS
Yes.
with
We
a Sharpie.
We wrote on ours too, so it's helping me out today. Okay, then we're just gonna put this guy back in. And what this one's doing is it's basically tacking down the bottom, so the innermost part of that circle that we just created, just tacking that down. So that later, when we wash away that water-soluble thread, that flower will puff up.
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah, it just gives it that little oomph. Let's take a closer look again. Right here at that fringe on those flower centers. This is what Deanna is working on right now. And look at that. I mean, can we get any closer on that? Oh, awesome. It just adds that something special, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. And it just is, it's the wow factor, right?
Yep. All those
Absolutely.
dimensional details and texture.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you just finished the little
Okay,
stitch.
so it did the little center stitch. And so now the instructions tell us to put the water soluble back in.
So let's go ahead.
Yeah,
While you're
I
doing
don't know
that,
if
I'm
you
going to
can
show
see
off.
how that stitches.
So
but-
she kept it in yellow the whole time. But do you see, let's get a little bit closer on that. There we go.
And basically what it did is it just stitched this very center right here to tack that down.
Yes. Oh, I can see that. That's nice. That's nice. And that's going to hold your fringe stitches in place.
Absolutely.
And so that's why you change your bobbin back to regular, right?
Yes, we don't want that to wash away. Otherwise you won't have a center.
You'll have a wilted flower.
Yeah.
Oh,
Be a
and you'll be
safflower.
so sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Awesome.
now we're back and we're going to do the center part of the flower. So this is back with the water soluble. So it's going to be zipping in and out again.
Yeah. A lot
Doing those
longer
long
stitches. Awesome.
Is that considered a long satin stitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Janice asked, girls, was that flower stem rickrack or stitching? She thinks it's cute.
So fun.
Yeah, it
It's
was
stitching.
Stitching.
So
stitching.
fun.
To
I
look
thought it
like
was-
rickrack,
yeah.
but nope, it's the stitching for sure.
I thought it was Rick Rack at first too. And then when we got to sew it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is stitching. It's so fun.
Yeah, Sue says, what a great technique. I've never done a project with water-soluble thread. Oh, it's a game changer,
Oh, it totally
guys.
It is.
It
I'm in
is.
love with it after doing this project.
Right?
I didn't know it existed before this project, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and then she saw that, and we're like, "Oh yeah, Deanna, you're gonna show them how to do fringe." And I think your first reaction was like, what? What? But
Yeah.
we knew you could do it.
And like I said, you just simply follow the instructions and it makes it really simple. And like I pointed out at the beginning, having those highlighted really did help because when I got to that point, I just knew it. Okay, pay close attention.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
that's all stitched. Now we're just gonna change the thread one last time to tack down that center part.
Fantastic. Oh, our friend Kyle, she says, I'm stitching this out right now. Awesome,
So fun.
Kyle. So proud of you.
It is kind of like a sew along then.
Yeah, for sure.
So some of you are sewing. While we're
Jacqueline
doing the
says,
muscle
water soluble thread scares me. I didn't forget to change it out for sure. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that you've got to, that's why our amazing testers and instructions are saying in highlighted, bold,
Yes.
in yellow.
So here again,
This is what you're going to do.
helps you out with that. I'm that way too. Get going on a project. Do I have it in? Do I have it out? This with step by step, it really does help you. Okay, it's highlighted. Change the bobbin to the water soluble. Change it back again. And it really helps you keep things straight.
So let's go ahead and see your finished one
Okay.
and show them where
So-
you're about to get that wet,
This is our finished product here.
at least for the bobbin portion.
Yes, for that
For the
center part
center
of the
part.
flower. Changing that bobbin back and forth. So this is the completed, and then we're gonna go wash the back of this and wash away that soluble
Bobbin thread, yeah.
Yes. And then
Then you're going to show us
Then
how
we're
to
gonna
fluff it up.
proof it up.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you go to wet it, are you going to like just spray it with a spray bottle, or how are you going to do that? I
You
think
know-
the directions give you one idea, but
This tells us in here. Let's see what the directions. See, when we
Trying to
did it,
remember.
we were washing away when we did our other project with this. We were washing away the stabilizer as well.
oh yeah.
So this does tell us though to. Let's see.
I think it's a Q-tip is what it said in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So dipping like a Q-tip
Q-tip.
in there and just like running it along the back. But certainly you could spray it too, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think
Totally.
The possibilities are limitless.
And then, as you can imagine, it just kind of.
Yes.
Okay, while you're going to wash that away, let's talk about probably a commonly asked question, and that would be, do you have to have a water-soluble bobbin thread to do this?
No.
What would you say, Ginger?
You don't have to.
No. So what would you do instead?
Well, you could stitch it with a regular bobbin, and then you would have to very carefully unpick your stitches along the back. But
I'm going to grab our scissors here and show you. So let me go ahead and, I know that's not fully stitched out yet, or is it? Did we already fully stitch it out?
Oh, no, we got to tack down the center.
Okay, we do have to tack down the center, but I can show you on here the part that she has done so far. I won't actually snip them, but we're going to use our little flexible scissors here from Kimberbell.
Oh my gosh,
right
I love
here.
those scissors so much.
And on the back, especially if you are using, like whenever you do fringe, you want to make sure that your bobbin thread color is different than your top thread color. So in this case, we're using, top thread is yellow, but our bobbin thread is white. So what we would do is actually find the white bobbin threads. It's going to be very minimal, but you'll see them. And then we can just place our snippers. And like I said, I'm not going to snip them yet because I want Deanna to be able to use this block a little bit later when she goes to make her entire pillow. But you would just slide these under and cut the white bobbin stitches all the way across. So yes, you could do it without water soluble bobbin thread, but you just saw, or you're going to see now with Deanna, how easy it is with water soluble bobbin.
Like I say, but why would you want to? Why would you want to not use water soluble?
Yeah, but why? Yeah, I agree. So go ahead and show us what you're doing here.
So we neglected to bring Q-tips today. This is what you get with life. So we just wet down a piece of paper towel. So that just lets you know. And you can kind of see how this is the back side of it, and those are starting to lift. So that lets me know that thread
is dissolving.
So we're just going to kind of make sure we've got all those nice and dissolved.
Okay.
And then as we flip this over.
Kim says she uses a Kimberbell spray bottle to do this.
Oh, yes. That's a great idea. Do you want to hand us our handy dandy tool here?
Sure. Which tool do you want?
We kind of like just these little tweezer-like. So these come in the Kimberbell scissor set, and it's just these little tweezers right here. So there's the tweezers.
I like that because you've got a really sharp point to get under there, right?
I don't know how well you can see this point, but I don't know what the best way is. He's like, stop moving so we can. It is. It's a really fine tip here, and then we're just going to come along, and we're just going to slowly kind of try to.
Let's go ahead and let's move this down a little bit
so they can see. Oh yeah. Or maybe I can hold it up a little bit like this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, now I'm behind the pillow.
Okay.
So we're just going to take this and kind of just slowly lift these stitches up. And just, like I said, just keep the tweezers pinched together and just kind of pull at those threads. And I will say, when Ginger and I were in the lab the other day and we were doing this part, we got a little nervous, but trust the process. It all comes together. But yeah, you'll just keep going around this edge and kind of pulling those out. And then once you get them out, you can just kind of fluff them up and just kind of keep working with them. But this is a great tool for that. Ginger also had another.
Well, we have lots of great tips coming in, like a foam paintbrush, Lynn said, and then placing a sticky note on your machine to remind you to change your bobbin back and forth. So when Deanna and I were in the lab, and we're going to show you a different project that we did with this fringe flower, which was so fun. I just, those disposable flossers that you can get for your teeth?
You're talking, disposable flossers, like the little, it's about an inch wide.
Yeah, usually green,
and you just kind of, okay.
And it's
what are you going to say? I never thought of
I know, and I wish I had one with me. On the end of it, like the little handle part, it's got this fun little flip up thing so you can.
It does.
Yeah, and it was the perfect thing to get underneath those stitches. It was so fantastic.
So there's lots of options.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
So did you use it?
I did use
In the
it.
lab?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it worked
funny.
Great.
Oh,
So
that's
If
funny.
you have the Kimberbell scissor set, or
Yeah.
you're thinking about getting it, because these scissors really did help with this project. Cutting, we'll talk about it more when we do the tea towel, but
Yeah.
it really did help with the cutting and
Yeah.
All
The
kinds of
precision.
things. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Doesn't that just look fun?
Mm-hmm.
I think people are just going to really enjoy the
it
process.
does. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ginger and I
Awesome.
enjoyed it.
Okay, well, you guys have to show off another project that you made
Oh, we're kind of proud of this
based on
one.
this idea because
Should we
we're
take
all
this
about
one?
showing more possibilities beyond the pillow. Okay, so what did you do with this design?
Okay, so we took 2 of the flowers off the pillow design
Oh,
and we made this cute little
What?
tea towel.
oh my
So
gosh.
this is the cute, let's see, this is the cute vinyl
Yes.
part that's got the glitter in it.
Okay, so that was right there.
Yeah,
Right there.
So those
Yeah.
two,
There we go.
So we use those 2 smaller
This one?
flowers.
the two smaller ones.
Okay.
These two. Yeah.
The-
And
These
then the
two.
one with the
Yes.
fringe,
Okay.
right, on our tea towel. We just tube some wash away sticky back stabilizer, which is so amazing because then you can just float your tea towel.
Oh, I like that.
So we put that right on there. And then, of course, we have our wool felt bugs and mushrooms and the chunky
Look
bee.
at that little guy. Oh my gosh. So this is definitely one of those towels that is for looks only.
Yeah, decoration only.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the cute little ladybug
Yes.
on the leaf as well.
Andrew, if your wife, made one of these, or heck, if your daughter made one of these, we all know she embroiders, right? Your 8-year-old. And you went to go wipe your hands after a bag of Cheetos, what would happen to you?
I'd probably die.
Yeah.
It's just a pretty towel.
Yeah.
The thing that's funny is like I made one just
Yeah.
because I can.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
I went home and my kids actually took it in, put it in the laundry and used it for like everything. I'm like, well, there goes my applique. It's completely ruined.
Yeah,
Right.
something like this, decoration only, but come
Absolutely.
on, look at that chunky bee.
Yeah.
And, this cute
And those
little
are available.
ladybug.
Those initially came out last year with spring showers, and we sold out of them.
Yeah.
But they are in stores again for this
Yes,
year.
yes,
So
they are back.
They are so cute, and it's just that little added
well,
that
something.
makes
And
it.
then we used our lime green
Yes, you
trim
did. Oh
for
my
our cute
gosh.
little
Little
grass line.
crocheted
Mhm.
edge trim.
Yeah, so you
Fantastic.
can find those. And we just cheated. You could hand sew those on.
But let's be honest.
Let's be
What
honest.
did you really do?
We decorative.
Hot glue. That's the best kind of hand sewing right there is hot glue, right?
We're going to be honest here. There was the old glue gun
Yeah,
in there
involved.
for sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any of that keeping secrets with us.
Yeah, no.
We'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
there's a fun
gosh.
idea to
You
use.
guys, people are loving your tea towel.
Oh, we had so much fun making it.
We did.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Okay, so who gets to keep it?
We might have to do rock, paper,
Paper,
scissors.
scissors.
Right? You get it a week, I get it a week.
Yeah, maybe we'll just hang it in our office.
Maybe you
Oh,
should
there you
just,
go.
give it to your boss.
Yeah,
Keep
maybe.
things fair.
Mhm, yeah.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say there's a
everyone's-
kitchen in the studio.
There you go. There you go. Well, it is just precious. I love everything that you guys did with that. Really,
Thank you.
really cute. Heidi says, make another. Well, why?
Okay.
Oh, come on. I mean, yeah,
We're on
why
it,
not,
we're on it.
right?
Yeah. You don't have
For
to tell us
sure.
twice.
Oh, Hope speaking my language. So stinking cute.
Yes.
Yes, we couldn't agree more. For sure. Oh, Grandma B. I always love. Do you notice Grandma B's comments on
I
on
do.
YouTube? Shout out to Grandma B. Whoever you are out there, you're always so kind.
Love
She says,
you.
"What a cute tea towel. Love Ladybug."
Mhm.
There we go.
Bugs and mushrooms really do.
Okay, well, you killed it. Good job, Deanna.
Thanks.
Woo! One
Not
down.
bad for a beginner.
No,
Yeah, you did
and
great.
as you saw, this was her second.
Even I can do it.
So-
Even I can do it.
We should
So
do.
don't be nervous.
If Deanna can, anybody can,
That's
right?
exactly what I say. Tell me that all the
Honestly,
time.
The directions really are so
They
good
are. They're so well laid out.
that even a beginner can do it.
Yes,
I love that.
absolutely.
Okay, well, we got a question coming in.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
what's the question?
So Jessica's so busy answering all the questions, but we're going to throw this out here real quick.
All right.
And that is there an embellishment kit for this pillow?
You know, there's not, but there are a lot of shops out there that are selling both fabric kits and embellishment kits for this. So find a shop. There's a whole lot of them out there doing that, and they would love to be able to provide that for you. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we give you a list. We certainly have a list of all the embellishments that we use and the specific fabrics we use, but that is up to a quilt shop.
Yeah, adding your own little flair or getting some of those cute little embellishments to make it truly your own is always a fun thing.
For sure. And there's lots of cute embellishments. I mean, come on, let's look at this flower. These are the pole flowers from Kimberbell. A lot of shops have those. Look at that. I saw where there was someone who made the flowers out of the flower design from Spring Showers, and I thought that was
With
so
the little
cute.
felt ball in the
Yes,
center. Oh,
yes.
so cute.
I thought that was really cute too. And then we've got the cute little leather birds right here. We've got some glitter in the trees for the tree hearts, and then the banner. Speaking of the banner, Ginger, you're up.
Okay.
You're up.
All right.
Okay, Ginger's gonna show you how easy this banner is to do. And really, I mean, I have to give a shout out to our digitizers who come up with these crazy ways. Did it surprise you?
It did. Because when I knew that was what we were going to stitch, I was like, this might be above my skill level.
Nope.
But really, it's all in the hoop.
Yeah.
Again, the directions are so well laid out, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
We have a
For
question
sure.
on that from Judy Evans. She asked, can you do this in a 5x7 hoop?
Ooh, I think this one, let me double check, or if someone knows out there, I think you might have to have just a little bit larger of a hoop. But I am going to check, and if anyone out there knows right off the bat, whether it can be done. Now, if you do the background quilting, well, even if you do the background quilting, there's ways to get by with a smaller hoop. But let me,
I think this.
I think
this
you
one
have
took
to have a 6x10.
Yes, I think you're right.
For
Yeah.
those top tree box, I think you have to have.
Yes. Yeah. 6x10 is what you're going to want for this particular one. When possible, we always try to make things work in a 5x7, but
This
this
one messes
particular
up.
one, yeah, that big old tree that
Yeah.
comes in pieces, you will need a 6x10 for sure. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Viola says, she must have just come on. She says, can you each introduce yourselves? I'm new to Kimberbell and Quilting. Best wishes. Thank you. Well, welcome, Viola. Thank you so much for being here today. So just real quick, I'm Kim Christofferson, and I am the lucky owner, founder of Kimberbell. So that's kind of fun. And then we've got Ginger over here at the embroidery machine. And Ginger introduced herself a little bit earlier.
Ginger and I work mostly with events and then the sales team.
Yep. And then we've got Deanna, who
I'm
is
new
brand
to the
new.
team. I originally came to Kimberbell and worked in the finance office, and I have just switched over to do sales now.
Yep.
And I'm loving it. So
Yeah.
This is my first stitching project.
Yeah, you're going to
This
see a
is
lot
so
more
fun.
of these guys for sure. So, okay, thanks for asking that question, Viola. We're glad you're here. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's throw it over to Ginger.
Okay, so I've done a little bit of stitching already. So I have stitched my placement line on heavy tearaway stabilizer. So first you get this center line, it stitches that, and then you're going to cut that line with your scissors. You're going to cut right along those threads, and then it's going to stitch your placement line. So now I'm going to stick it back in my machine and stick my piece of felt on there for my elf. Can I get the tape, please?
Oh, yes. There we go.
And we'll just tape that down. Thank you. We'll just stick a little piece of Kimberbell paper tape on there because this stuff is amazing.
The
Well,
nice
Ginger's
thing is
taping that down.
Oh,
I was going to say, there is a lot of people asking where they can get the chunky bees and the mushrooms and the ladybugs. There's a high
the
demand
bees
out there
Of
for
all
them.
the fun.
Who knew that chunky bees would be
Be
so
so cute.
popular and so darn cute, right? So you can get them at your favorite quilt shop. online, or, if you happen to live near one, they would love to have your business in person. But so many of them all across the world sell Kimberbell product. And if they don't, then, maybe if you went in and say, hey, I'd be interested in getting Kimberbell product, I'm sure they would love to help you with that.
Absolutely.
But the chunky bees, they're sold through shops.
Adorable.
But they'll certainly send them to you wherever you live.
Yes.
For sure.
Right? Okay, Ginger,
All
what you
right,
got?
so I am going to stitch my tack down line for my felt.
Don't forget, you can also find chunky bees on the softball field.
Yes, you can. Andrew's referring to the Kimberbell softball team that we had this summer, and we lovingly called ourselves the Chunky Bees.
Yes.
Some of us were just the cheerleaders.
That's right.
That was me.
Right?
Yeah, no, the three of us.
Yeah.
Definitely in the cheering section.
Most of us were just cheerleaders.
You should have seen Andrew out on that field.
I know,
though,
Andrew
man.
killed it on the
Yeah.
field. Okay, so now it's stitching my L, the first letter in our love banner.
Okay.
And this is just a really quick stitch up, but I want to show you the next part.
Another quick question is, what is the preferred needle size?
It did actually have a little tip
Okay.
in the beginning of the project of what size needle to use. So let me pull that up really quick. I remember looking at that tip as we started this project. Again, it was highlighted for you, so it jumps out at you. Again, the beauty of being...
It's just right there behind that first tab.
There we go. See? This is what happens when you're the newbie. Yeah, the first tab.
Gail, I'm going to give you a quick answer here. Yes.
Yeah.
Tips on getting things lined up. Yep. We
Okay.
will.
What it says is it says stitch to, or switch. Let me read the words right. Switch to a new needle before starting this block with the dense stitching. So I guess it doesn't tell you needle size per se, but to get a fresh one, you'll want a really sharp, fresh needle.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I just typically go with a standard like 80-12, and that's usually what I stick with unless it specifies. And sometimes it will specify a needle size. For me, I just kind of go in the middle of the road with an 80-12.
Okay, can I get the snips out of
Yes. Let's pull this over. There
We have
go.
another question here for you guys
Okay.
from Lynn. She asked, is there a glide thread color kit or names of the thread colors you're using?
That's a good question.
Yes.
I don't know. I really don't know if there is a glide thread kit specifically for this. I know shops know the colors, and maybe they've curated a kit for it, but there's not like a special one, right?
No, there's not a special glide one. But you can certainly, with the conversion chart on our site, find the exact thread colors and then convert them to whatever thread you like to use on your machine. So yeah.
And you can also play with the colors.
Yeah, we did a few different colors.
We
Deanna
did.
and I
We did.
So it was fun. And you can see we're stitching this one in yellow today so that it shows up really well. But what I want to show you, remember we did that placement stitch or that center line and I cut it right there? Okay, so now the instructions tell us to cut the top. So I'm going to peel off this piece of Kimberbell paper tape and just right there in the center where I cut, I'm going to find that. And I'm just going to go, let's see, I'm trying to get this. I'm just going to go right along that stitch line on my stabilizer.
So you guys, when you first did this, were you like, are you kidding me? I have to cut through the stabilizer?
Yes, and I was reading the instructions and that's what, and Ginger and I were doing a lot of hand holding and supporting each other.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it says.
And I was like,
So
it's okay,
just trust
Deanna,
the
just do it.
process.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Trust the
Yeah.
process.
And if any of you have done the One Sweet Spring event, you'll do this in that event as well for your spring and Easter round. And so you do have to just trust it. Okay, so now I've got
You
my
got to get an
stable,
up close of that because that is
right?
pretty
That's
cool.
a little scary. So
right.
I've got my stabilizer cut, so I'm just gonna pull it back. And on the back of my hoop, I'm gonna line up my stitch lines and make sure they're nice and even. Oh, there's my piece of paper tape. And I'm just gonna tape that right back down on the back side of my hoop. So you can, let's see, you can see that that is taped right there. So on the front side, you've got your L, and on the back side, you've got this. And then you just stick it back in your machine. And it's going to stitch your pennant shape. Now, the thing that I think is so cool about this is not only did the digitizers figure out how to do this on your embroidery machine so you don't have to hand sew it later, which would give me such great anxiety, but it also makes this little loop at the top that you can thread your twine through, which I think is so amazing. You don't even have to like stress about it.
No
So, oh my gosh, it's just so fantastic. And so look, you can see right there, where's my camera? Right there. You've got that yellow pennant stitch line, and you're just gonna go ahead and trim just outside of that. And then you get your beautiful banner like we have right there on the pillow. So don't be afraid when the instructions tell you to cut that stabilizer. It's gonna be just fine.
Okay, we have a question that came in,
Okay.
and there's some people who are wondering where you got these beautiful binders that you're reading the instructions out of, because let's just say they're a little extra right here, you know?
Yeah,
At Kimberbell, do we do anything not extra?
right.
Yeah, they are beautiful. They also have these gold corners that I just think are so just over the top
I
cute.
love that. And I love that it has the label spot there too, so
Yeah.
you can label the binder.
Yeah, I think I need like 10
Yes, exactly.
of these, but
One
they're
just may
great.
not cut it.
And it also has some pockets in the front and the back. And it has some fun sticker sheets. And I believe it's a 3-inch binder. So you're going to
Yes.
get a lot of stuff in it. And the tabs also come with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. And you can find them at quilt shops as well,
Yes.
online or in person.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So you're done?
I'm done. That's it.
So
That
easy.
easy.
So
right?
fast, right?
So then she would remove the stabilizer,
Right.
of course, and then just cut it out.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, can I show you guys what I did with this?
Please do.
Oh, please
I'm
do.
in love with this.
Okay,
I love
I just love. No, I thought that banner was just so adorable. And let me preface this by showing you. I showed this on What's New Wednesday this last couple weeks ago, maybe last week, but I had made these little pillows, mini pillows, and I did this with the Kimberbell Valentine download found at kimberbell.com. It's called a Kimberbell Valentine. I think that's what it's called. And anyway, it comes with like 12 or 13 different designs for Valentine's Day. And it comes in a few different sizes, but I used the 4x4 and made these cute little mini pillows. You could make them into pin cushions or whatever. So then I was like, well, I got to have another buddy with it, right? You got to have a trio. You got to have a trio. So this is what I made with our 8x8 pillow form and this same banner. So as you can see here, it says love. And in our original pillow, let's show this real close. There's little buttons that are part of that embellishment of the pillow, and those go in between the banners. But on this one, I just continued with the red wine. Yes, red wine, that too. No, the red twine, and made little bows in between. And then I took the little birds. Let's see if we can get it more up close of that. Okay, see the cute little birdies? Oh my goodness. Those were from the branch of the tree right here, right there.
There they are.
And I pulled those out and said, well, those got to just sit on this cute little pillow, right? And then made that. So let me give you the formula for how I did this. Basically, what I did is I cut out a 10 by 10 inch front fabric. And then I used our 8 by 8 inch, oh my goodness, background quilting. Thank you, Ginger. Background quilting file for block by block quilting. Now you could certainly do this with clear blue tiles quilting as well. And then I have been dying, you probably heard me say this on What's New Wednesday, but I have been dying to try the Hearts 3 design.
Looking for an excuse.
Yes, I just need an excuse to use that background quilting design because it's so stinking cute. I don't know if you can see it through the camera here, but it's little swirls and hearts and arrows going all over the place. So I just used the 8 by 8 design, stitched that out on there, cut this to 8.5 by 8.5 inch block after it was stitched, and then put on a backing. There you go, an envelope backing, used an 8 by 8 inch Kimberbell pillow, and there you go. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely adorable.
And now look, I've got a trio of cute little mini pillows that I could put on a tier tray, in a bowl. I could put them, on my shelf, you name it. Kind of fun. Yeah.
Kim, we have a couple awesome comments here. Somebody said, I would put my sweetie's name under the bird. Super cute idea.
Yes, I love that. Yes, great idea.
And then we have a question from Jeannie. She just asked in general, if you're doing the block by block quilting, are you adding batting to each square?
Yes, you are. You are. In fact, that's a good little segue into what we're going to talk about next. And that is the background quilting. I'm not going to show it today, although I'm going to point you in the right direction of where to find a tutorial on that. So let me find, I'm going to show you another little tip that I think is really important. And that's about something exciting called alignment. Woo! Riveting material is about to come your way, guys, as I talk about alignment. But before I do that, let me point you in the right direction for how to do our background quilting with the block by block Kimberbell method. Okay, so what I want you to do is go to YouTube. Actually, I'm going to find it here on my screen too. And let's see, Andrew, you want to get an up close of what I'm showing here?
Of course.
Because using our tutorial on YouTube, there we go. There's the Kimberbell Designs. Just search YouTube, Kimberbell Designs. There you have it. You can actually go over to, let's see if I can do this upside down, playlist. Do you see that? So I'm going to click on playlist. And then you're going to see all kinds of videos divided up in categories. So the category I want you to go to is called Cup of Cheer Sew Along. All right. Now you're going to say, but why Cup of Cheer? Okay, that's an ad. Hold on. We're not talking about makeup here. Okay. Why Cup of Cheer? Well, that's because right here to the right side of your screen, you're going to see the whole list of tutorials that I made for Cup of Cheer. But this is what I did for Cup of Cheer based on techniques. Okay, so techniques like how to do your background quilting, how to do your borders, how to do fringe, how to do these kinds of techniques that really are universal across all Kimberbell projects. So if you want to do background quilting for this pillow, not only are you going to find step-by-step instructions in the download, so don't worry, we've got you covered there, but we know that sometimes you want to see a video too. So what you can do is go to that Cup of Cheer Sew Along, like I'm doing here, and I'm going to scroll down till I see how to do background quilting on your embroidery machine. And there you go. Whoop. There you go. I'm going to show you how to do it. And so it doesn't matter what design you're doing, it's all the same. So that's why we're not showing it today, because I want you to go and view it from there, right? And know that it's always there for anything that you're going to do with background quilting, block by block quilting, which means, yes, there is batting behind it, but not in your seams. Our digitizers are
They're so good.
amazing. Whoop, excuse me.
They're the best.
Okay, so another one I want you to look at is if I scroll down to the bottom, there is how to quilt borders on an embroidery machine. Aha. So again, it's with the Cup of Cheer design, but the technique is the same. How to quilt borders on your embroidery machine. So you'll use this same technique to do it with your pillow. Isn't that a great resource?
I love it.
You know what?
Yeah.
Now I'm not feeling so freaked out about cup of chair.
Right?
I feel like I can do this.
You can do it. Yes, absolutely. I even have a tutorial called How to Combine Your Background Quilting with Your Design Itself, so that you can do it all at the same time.
Oh,
Yay.
amazing.
Which is
what I
awesome,
needed, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, so there you have it. Hopefully that helps, answer a few questions there, so that we don't take the time necessarily here today, but you know where to find it, right?
Okay, they're asking to see the little pillow again.
Oh, yes.
I
Okay.
just wanted to stand it up so they could get a good look at it.
Yeah, Donna, that is a great idea. And I think we could certainly do that. She says, how about naming a playlist called Techniques? I love that idea. We'll pass that on to our marketing team. I'm sure they could put that together very easily.
I think so too.
All right. Okay, so I mentioned that I was going to talk about something very exciting.
I know, Kim, you keep saying it's not exciting, but for me, it's really, I keep hitting my mic. For me, it's really exciting.
Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Okay, I'm going to run over and get set up. You
Okay.
guys chat. Maybe
Okay.
Jessica has another question to throw at you.
Okay.
And then we'll
ready.
talk about alignment,
It's
which actually is really important.
It is.
Yes.
And once you know how to align properly, you're super grateful.
Yeah.
It's
So this
one
was
of those things that you don't know how much you need to know it till you need it.
right. And we had to learn it, right?
We did.
And so we know just a tiny bit. So I'm excited to get more from Kim as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jessica, do you have a question for us?
Okay, yes, we do. Let's do another would you rather question
Okay.
for you
This is my
guys
favorite.
and see what everybody on YouTube and Facebook thinks.
Okay.
So, would you rather have all your stitch outs take half the time or have never ending bobbin thread?
Ooh, again with the bobbin threads.
I know.
Or we can change that to fabric too. We've done bobbin.
Unlimited fabric?
Let's do unlimited fabric.
Whoa.
Your
are we
eyes
talking
are like,
like-
You just
I'm
up to the game.
I was like, wow.
Ooh, that
I
just
would
makes
do
harder.
unlimited fabric because, oh my gosh.
I know.
All
Well, and when
unlimited.
you're sitting down stitching, sometimes you just want to enjoy it.
Mhm.
You know, who needs to go faster? Just enjoy the process.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah.
I think I have to agree with Ginger. I do fabric too.
Yeah, I totally take unlimited fabric.
There is no doubt in my mind it would be fabric.
Yeah. Oh, there's some that say having my stitch outs take half the time, but a lot are saying fabric, please.
Yeah.
Please, for sure.
Yeah.
They're living the high life.
They
That's
are.
right.
They
Just
are.
surrounded by fabric.
Okay, are you
Perfect.
ready? Let's
ready.
talk about alignment,
ready
shall
too.
we? Okay, so here we go. This is why this is important. I saw a few posts on Facebook about the tree. See, the tree is nice and big and long and wide. And so it's actually done in several different sections. If you were to see this really up close, you could see the seam lines right here. You probably can see a little bit of that, right? And so what you end up doing is having to align it so that the tree all as one trunk looks like it's all made in one stitching, right? But it's not. So what ends up happening is that you've got to make sure that when you go to stitch this out, especially when you're doing background quilting as well, that you're aligning this just right so that you don't have one piece. What people have said on Facebook, a couple that I saw said, oh, my tree's not aligned correctly. Well, that's because there is a special place highlighted in your instructions that you're going to want to pay close attention to. And that is how to align this design on top of your background quilting. If that sounds complicated, I'm here to tell you it's not, and I will walk you through the step of that, okay? Our goal is to make sure that the whole tree is just aligned just perfectly, okay? And I'm going to show you how easy that is. So if you will, turn to page, if you have the instructions here in front of you, turn to page 12. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that with Kimberbell project where you're adding block by block quilting in the background using Kimberbell quilting files, which are sold separately. They're not part of this design set. This is an option for you guys to have if you want to do this on your embroidery machine. But some people want to do it themselves, quilt something themselves after it's already done, say on a long arm machine or on their sewing machine. So we give you options here at Kimberbell. So the first thing I want you to notice when you go to any set of instructions, especially probably in the last year, is that we have two choices. I've even labeled them 1 and 2 for you. You can do what we call block by block quilting, which means your batting is not going to be seen in the seams. Or, see the or? You can go right to hooping instructions, okay? So this is the option. I wrote it right here. Hooping instructions is just another way of saying traditional quilting, like after, okay? So either you're quilting it beforehand on your embroidery machine, or you've said, you know what, I want to do my own traditional quilting afterwards. I'm going to go to hooping instructions. So you have to make a choice, 1 or 2, all right? If you go to 2, right here, hooping instructions, then you go right after, it gives you some instructions on page 36. It says, see page 36. I could go over to page 36 and look at there. I have step-by-step instructions on how to hoop that particular part of the project. It'll say whether you need to do traditional hooping, and if that's the case, you'll go to traditional hooping. If it says you need to do like placement line hooping, then you go to the instructions on placement line hooping. So we really will walk you through every single step of doing this, okay? So that is something to think about. Now, the next thing is I'm going to show you how I'm doing this with the Kimberbell background quilting. So I'm choosing option 1, block by block quilting. Look down here where it says alignment. This is the key word right here. This is the part that you do not want to miss out on, okay? This one, it says tree part 1. Okay, this is the top of the tree. It says align the block embroidery file with the quilting design file so that they're both centered. All right. Well, in those videos I just pointed out to you, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that on your embroidery machine or in software. I show you both ways of doing it, okay? So if it's centered, no big deal. I just load one design after the other. I'm good to go. Let's skip to tree 2. That's like the middle part of the tree, okay? This is that section that has the bluebirds in it. Let's see what that says. I'm going to block by block quilting. I go down and I see alignment. Remember, that's the key word right there, right? Alignment says align the block embroidery file with the quilting design so that they're both centered. Okay, perfect, done. I can do that, easy enough. Again, you can refer to that video tutorial for help on that. But now I'm skipping ahead to tree 3. This is the middle part of that tree. And this one looks a little bit different. So therefore, it's highlighted in yellow, okay? Now, if you downloaded these instructions like within a couple of days of this being on there, I don't think this was highlighted. Since then, we've gone back and highlighted this, so it really stood out to you that this is something that's a little bit different. Let's go to block by block quilting. Let's go to alignment, and now it says center both files horizontally, aligning the bottom placement line of the embroidery file with the bottom edge of the quilting file. Let me tell you why that's important here in just a minute and how easy it is to do, I promise you. And then tree 4, if I were to skip a few and go to tree 4, let's look at block by block quilting. I look at alignment, it says centered, I'm good. Okay. Why is that important? Let me tell you. All right. Notice, okay, this section was part 1. This was part 2. Remember, part 3 was where you changed it just a little bit, and part 4 was centered. let's look at part 3. The reason why that has to shift just a little bit, and again, I'm going to show you how, is because there is a seam line right here. And we wanted the word heart to be as close as possible to tweet. And if we had just centered this this on top, we would not have this tree align where it needed to be. Does that make sense? Because we want the word heart right next to the word tweet. These are in blocks. And so once those are sewn together, you're going to see that it just aligns up so perfectly, and it also aligns the tree. Let me show you another visual before I show you at the machine. I stitched these out, I printed these out on my printer. This is the design, okay? This is the background quilting. Oh, isn't that cute? The little birds and the hearts. Okay, so it says I need to have my background quilting, and then I put my design on top of it, right? If I were just to put this on top of it and center it, it's not following that rule, so to speak, of having it align down to the bottom. It's so easy to do. All I need to do is I'm going to show you this on the machine, but this is just a visual printed out, that I'm actually going to have to shift this down to the bottom so that they match. And now this tree is going to line perfectly, and the heart word is going to align perfectly with tweet. It's just really as easy as can be. And once you see it, you're going to go, now that's why alignment is so important. Okay. So again, this is my background quilting design. This is the design itself. It needs to go on top of it, but it needs to be shifted to the bottom. So let's get a real close-up shot as much as we can here on my machine.
While we're doing that, we have a question from Heidi. She just wants to know what page Kim is on in the instructions.
I'm on tree 3. So what page is that, Ginger?
Page 21.
Page 21.
Page 21. Okay, again, notice under block by block, it says that I need to align it a little bit differently than being centered. If it was just centered, the only thing I would do is I would load this design, I'd put this one on top, load it, and it automatically centers. But because I want to align this a little bit differently, I'm going to show you how I did it here on the machine. Okay, how well can you see that? Can you see that okay? All right, so I've got my background quilting here. It says I need to use the 4x10 design. So I am just going to click on here. Now I'm using a machine that shows these, pretty well as a visual, but you can do this in software, or you can do it how your machine, shows it as well. But here's my 4x10 design. That is my background quilting. Do you notice that? Okay, so that is what this is right here. Okay, this is just the printout. Now I'm going to hit set. All machines will be a little bit different, but close enough that you'll be able to figure out which part of this I'm talking about according to your machine. You can also ask your machine dealer, and they can help you as well. Now, I want to add this design to the top of the background quilting, right? So I'm going to click on add, and then I'm going to try to find that design here on my screen. Here we go. It is right here. Okay. I can see that it says heart, I'm in love with you. Okay. So that's the one. And I'm going to hit set. Okay. This is going to combine, it looks kind of funny now, doesn't it? But it's going to combine the background quilting with the design itself on top, just like I showed here, right? It's going to combine them together. But here's where you're going to change it a little bit different. If this had said just center it, I would just leave it as is and hit embroidery, and I'm good to go. But this one has you changing the alignment just a tad. So what I'm going to do is I need to move that top design, okay, top design down. I can do that in software, or I can do it directly on my machine. I'm going to do it on my machine so you can see I'm going to hit edit and then move. And then I've got some arrows. And do you see what's happening here? It's shifting that heart word and that whole design that comes with it down so that they are now going to touch at the bottom. Again, if I had this and it came in like this, right smack in the middle, can we get out just a little bit further so we can see that bottom? Okay. If this was on top and it came smack in the middle, I just am shifting this till both bottoms align. All right. So I've done that here on my machine. They're aligned exactly where it said to be for it to be. And now I can hit OK. I can hit embroidery and voila, I can start stitching this out. Isn't that easy? So there you have it.
So easy.
Yeah.
It makes such a huge difference, and your
Yeah.
project will turn out perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be so great.
Are there any questions about that?
Someone asked, are you lining up the placement lines or the tack down line?
Okay, so let's look at what it says in here so I can help explain it according to the exact words that are used here. You're going to center both files horizontally. So side to side, it's centered, right? But then you're moving the bottom placement line to the embroidery of the embroidery file. Okay, the bottom placement line. It's like a little, it's a line and a little dash. And you're moving it all the way to the edge of the quilting file. Now, another thing you could do, I'm going to show you here on my screen. So Andrew, if you can get a picture of my computer here. The nice thing about this is that you also, you've got the PDF file. So this allows you to really hone in and get really close to that. Again, if you want to have this all highlighted for you and that, you can re-download that particular page for sure. But I can see exactly now where it's telling me to line those up. So that little line originally that came up that was part of the design itself has been moved down so that it's lined up perfectly with that outside line of the quilting file. So that way, when I go to sew this together, my seam allowance has already been accounted for, and the word heart, grab this again, the word heart goes right up next to that seam, and you've now got just a tiny space between tweet and heart. But if you didn't do that, you would have a much larger space between tweet and heart, and your tree would look a little wonky too. Which, no big deal, right?
It's a little wonky tree.
Right? So first world problems, right? But there you go. That's how easy it is. I hope that helps everyone out there, because it is, sometimes we go, oh, alignment, no big deal.
Right.
But it can make a difference when you're doing something that has to match up just right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah has a quick question for you. She asked, are you still stitching out the crosshair?
Am I still stitching out the crosshair? Nope, I'm not. Because now I've done my background quilting and I can go straight to the design itself. If you weren't doing the background quilting, then yeah, you would do that. But where I already got the background quilting done, we're good to go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim, someone asked a comment, and it was up a little further. They were wondering, do you print out the instructions or do you print out the resource guide?
Ooh,
I love it.
Who asked about the resource guide? It's like we planted them.
Right?
I know.
I know.
It is.
You asked a really good question, whoever asked that. Do you have it with you?
I do have it.
Okay, this is so exciting, you guys. This is brand new from Kimberbell, and it's free. It's free. We're going to be putting it on our website for anyone to download, but you also received it with the Let Me Call You Tweetheart download that is so awesome. Tell us about this resource guide, Ginger.
Okay, so this I have discovered with looking through this file as well. So this is such an amazing, amazing resource. So it goes through everything. Like there's a whole glossary of terms for embroidering. So if you are brand new to embroidery, oh my goodness. Or even like me, you learn all kinds of things. It talks about how to bind your project, how to use the orange pop rulers to cut your project, whether you're going to do background quilting or the block by block method. It goes through every little step, like even the basics of hooping stabilizer and hooping fabric. It's fantastic.
We were so excited when our team said they were going to put this together. I mean, it was a labor of love. And we hope it's a great resource for all things Kimberbell for you guys.
Yes.
Again, you're going to see it pop up on the site here anytime now.
We hope soon.
But wow.
You'll see.
But for now,
Here's
it is
download,
part of the background. It is part of the download for Let Me Call You Tweetheart. Maybe something else too. I thought there was something else.
If you have the One Sweet Spring event, it was in that as well, which we found out later. So.
Oh yeah, awesome.
So super exciting for that.
Print it out, put it in a binder,
Yeah.
and then you've got a Kimberbell resource guide with step-by-step diagrams and instructions, and it's just really, really helpful.
Oh,
for
Grandma B
sure.
loves it. Yay,
Yay.
thanks, Grandma B.
Let's see what she has to say. She says, love the resource guide. Huge kudos to your team for thinking of this and putting it online for us. Oh, we will pass that on to our amazing product development team. Shout out to them because they have done a phenomenal job on that resource guide.
Absolutely.
And it's going to answer, like you said,
all the
Ginger,
questions.
just about anything you're wondering about for sure.
Yeah, and it gives you like just the diagrams on binding everything. Like I got so excited about it because I was like, oh, this will help me a ton.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I want to quickly mention is that I referred to this a little bit earlier, is that the background quilting files are available as a separate purchase. So, like I said, we're giving you options, right? Sometimes you want to do it yourself with your embroidery machine, and sometimes you'd rather take it to a long arm quilter, or maybe you have a long arm machine. So there you have it. We do have the background quilting available at kimberbell.com. Just go up to products and then digital download, background quilting, right?
Background
Okay, go to products, then background quilting. You can even search the background quilting per project. So you will see, if you look under the per project area, you're going to see Let Me Call You Tweetheart right there.
Right.
And it will give you all the background quilting files that we used in here. So that's really easy to use. But let me show you, look at the inner border, you guys. Do you see that? It says, let me call you Tweetheart. Let me call you Tweetheart. Well, there's 4 different, depending on the size of hoop you have, there's 4 different links you can get in that download for something like that. I want to mention that with, so you have like a 1x7 inch border, right? Because if you have a hoop that is a 5x7, you would choose the 1x7 inch border, right? Makes sense?
Mhm.
So you have the 1x7, you also have a 1x10 for those who have a 6x10 inch hoop. We have a 1x12 because you might have an 8x12 hoop. And we have, you guessed it, a 1x14 because you may have a 9x14 inch hoop, right? We've got the different lengths of hoops for you. But I was talking to our head digitizer for background quilting, which is Liz, and I said, can you help explain why the 1x7 says, I'm in love with you, and the other ones say, let me call you Tweetheart.
Okay.
And she said, yes, I'd be happy to explain that. And basically it's because she's looking at what words, keeping everything, the same as far as like the sizes and everything, what words are going to fit best in those borders. So if you want to combine them, you could certainly say, let me call you Tweetheart, I'm in love with you, but you're going to be using the different lengths, if that makes
that
sense,
does make
right? Yeah, so we want the scale to all be the same, but how many words can actually fit within that length of the hoop? That's why there's let me call you Tweetheart in some of them, and I'm in love with you in others, but you can combine them.
Mhm.
Oh, I love
So
it.
anyway, that's why that is there. On ours, we just used let me call you Tweetheart the whole way around. We never used I'm in love with you, but certainly you could add I'm in love with you, and that would be really cute. And then the borders, the outside borders,
Oh my gosh,
are
I
little
love that
birdies
quilting.
with a string of hearts
So cute.
in between. Really, really darling. All right. What do you think, guys?
So
I
much
love it.
fun.
Such a fun project.
We did it. We
That's
did
the
it.
best.
Yay!
High
We did it.
We did do it.
Other questions, Jessica?
Yeah, we have a couple questions. One is from Elaine. She wants to know, she said, so on the background fabric, the two lines are where one is the batting line and the other is the tack down line. So do you move the heart embroidery down to the tack down line?
You're moving the heart embroidery down to the tack down line. Yep.
Great.
Yep.
And then Donna
Okay.
also asked us, she said, if our tree 3 isn't highlighted, do we just go to our account download page and download the whole design again?
Yeah, you could go to your account page, open up the PDF, and then just print that particular page. I think that would be helpful. If I were you, I would not want to print the whole thing again, but certainly having like that page with it all highlighted it would be helpful, I think, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of fun because let me grab my instructions real quick. I mean, our team really wants to help
Make it
you
the best.
find the most success, right?
Oh, totally.
So they even put on here on the file, note, the block by block quilting for alignment tree 3 is not centered. Please see the block by block quilting section for alignment information. So they're making sure it's like alert, alert, alert.
Right.
We want you to not miss that. And then you go over here and do the block by block and it tells you exactly how to line it up. It's awesome.
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
Setting you up
Okay.
for success.
Yes, for
Very much
sure. Okay, so Jody says, excited to make this. Thank you for the demonstrations. You're very
You're
welcome.
welcome.
You're so
Our
You're
welcome.
pleasure.
very welcome, for sure. Can't wait to get started, says Deborah. C. Lombard says, awesome, so informative. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, hopefully that helped and kind of put a smile in your day and
Yeah.
a spring in your
Yes.
step, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are kind of fun.
Well, thanks. We think so.
We're glad you do too.
Yeah.
Can you tell we all like called each other last night? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
What should I wear? We're 16.
Just like
Yeah.
girlfriends do, right?
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
want to make sure we were color coordinated for our
We don't want anyone
Valentine's
to
so
be like,
long.
I like this, but I can't look at you right now.
Right.
Flashing.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. If you weren't able to catch the whole thing, or if you want to rewatch it, or share with a friend, this is recorded. You can always find it on our YouTube channel and Facebook. And while you're there, at any of those places, like it and subscribe.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like it. That really,
Yes.
really helps us out. So thanks,
Absolutely.
everyone. Take care. Have
So
a
fun
great
being with
day.
you today.
Bye-bye. Look at these